And we're live.
All
Good
right.
evening, everybody. Hey, how are you? I'm with Brave New World. I did put his YouTube channel in the description if you guys want to check him out. Probably most of these people are already subscribed to you, though.
Hi,
So
Aimee.
hi.
Aimee. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yep, Amy.
All right, cool.
How are you? It's morning for you, and it's nighttime for me. We're in two separate parts of the world, sir.
Yes, I'm in Amsterdam right now.
Yeah.
And you are in Canada, but I don't know the town yet. Which town are you in?
I'm in Vancouver, BC. That's the general area.
All right, cool. Cool. So
Yeah.
you have to talk French sometimes? Or?
I mean, okay, someone is saying your volume is really low. So let me just see if I can turn you up a little bit. Brave New World. Talk now?
I just put the mute thing and the microphone on. Yeah. What about now? Is it fine?
Yeah, I lost them. Is that better? Can you guys hear him? Say something.
Hello. Check. Test.
Yeah, I can definitely hear you better. It's definitely changed for me. So let's just hope it works the same for them.
All right.
So I'm in the greater Vancouver area. So it's like the most southwestern part of British Columbia, which is on the most western side of the country.
Yeah.
And are you just visiting Holland right now, or do you live there?
I live there. Yeah, I live in Amsterdam.
Oh, okay. And what's that like? You like it?
Pretty cool. Yeah. And not like any other tourist would think. I'm not on weed all the time, so that's
And, yeah, I hear that's a popular.
People from Amsterdam rarely go to the red light district. That's what you do as a tourist once.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
I would imagine that a lot of the things you hear that Amsterdam has, you hear because the tourists do those things. Like the weed thing is a big deal. Probably not to anybody who lives there, but obviously it's a tourist, right?
We don't do that. Or at least I once heard that the Dutch actually smoke, in one of the least amounts compared to other countries.
Mm-hmm.
We're not like bottom or anything, but we're more in the middle than what you would think.
Mm-hmm.
If it's legalized here, you would think everybody would smoke, but that's not the case.
Mm-hmm. So I need to binge on your channel a little bit, but I like how we kind of connected through the fact that you saw in, I think it was Devin's video, Rue was wearing a shirt that said Aimee and Chill on it.
Yeah, I saw that, and of course I've seen you around in the super chat kind of room. You follow that? It's like the Google, the YouTube chat. And, Aimee and Chill look nice. I like the logo. I like the way it's framed. I like the potential it has. There are millions of men out there just desperate for a channel like that, and of course it's already there, but it's oftentimes run by people who are not that socially adept.
Yeah.
So I think it has potential, and I think it can go a long way.
I hope so. I mean, that's the hope. The hope is to, I mean, it is kind of focused centrally on men on the internet, but it would be kind of cool to open that up and kind of have it branch out and have it be kind of, if anybody wants to come and have a chat with me about whatever, and like to maybe help them. Like, Sam Harris says, in order to deal or manage your anxiety, the best way to do that is to slowly and incrementally expose yourself to situations that make you anxious, if you're able to do it that way. So in a way, I kind of hope to be a little bit of a conduit for that process. Like if you're feeling anxious about talking to somebody on the internet or about social awkward situations in general, I generally feel like I would be a good person to do that with, because I do create a kind of a comfort zone where I can have a conversation, and I try my best to be. I actually can't help but be honest, and sometimes I come off really cunty. But like if you're somebody who wants feedback and wants actual advice that you can use on the ground to help you in your social life or what have you, or whatever way I can provide advice or whatever, I'm totally willing to do that. Kind of crazy though, right? It opens you up to a lot of insanity. So
It will. It will. So, what is your plan with it? Can you tell me a little bit about that? Do you have a goal in mind? Like in a year, I want to be here, or in 5 years, I want to be here. What is your end goal here? And yeah, what do you want to achieve with those guys? Just a more a vague goal of them being more socially adept, or do you have other goals in mind?
Well, I think if it does continue to grow and if it does kind of catch on, of course, growth would be a wonderful thing, but I don't want to focus on growth. I actually would like to focus more on the process.
Mhm.
As long as, I mean, I'm not expecting this to be a sole source of income or anything.
All right.
It's definitely something I do want to charge for, you know what I mean? Like, really reasonable.
Well,
Because I know
tell me
that's,
about this charging idea. What do you want to charge?
well, a few ideas that I have running around in my head is to have packages like a 1 hour conversation costs a certain amount.
Mhm.
Um, or like, you know, a cost per hour. If you want to buy something that's like once a week, where we're talking once a week, there will be like a combined price where it's a little bit more discounted from the hourly price. And then there's also I also want to add the option for a private or a live conversation. But the private conversation would cost a little bit more. And the reason I wanted to do that is obviously, I like people to have the option, right? And I think live would be better. I would prefer that because
Mhm.
other people can join in and kind of see the conversation and they can take away things from it too, maybe.
Yeah.
And private, I can understand too, because I'm very like open and honest. So to me, there's no real boundaries when it comes to having conversations. It's just something I ease into. A lot of people aren't like that. So when you're dealing with anxious people, obviously, I do want them to have the option to be able to take it private. And, you know, we can just have a conversation. At the end of that conversation, I give them a little bit of feedback, see if there's any areas in which I caught that they could improve and maybe let them know. And hopefully they could apply that and, you know, take it outside. And if they want to come back, that's great. If it does get big enough, eventually, one thing I was thinking about was opening my own Discord server, you know, being a place where everybody can kind of hang out and I would come visit once in a while and have a chat kind of thing.
All
Maybe
right.
eventually open a Patreon for people who like watching and coming along.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds professional. So, yeah, you have watched the news, of course, lately. There's some incels around, of
Mhm.
course, and that can be pretty dangerous. Or don't you see it that way? Like, I mean, I'm sure you're gonna get some incels hovering to your channel,
Yeah, that are
somehow getting
totally
on your path.
like they have hatred for women because it just doesn't work out for them. So they're going to try and take it out on me. Well, first
I
of
hope
all,
not.
yeah, I
Let's be
know.
positive here,
I
Amy.
know. I'm trying, right? But it's like you have to pay me before you get to talk to me to begin with. So if I make money and it turns out to be a gong show, I mean, that's entertaining for everybody who's watching, right? And
Yeah.
also, if I do find that there's any kind of threat to my safety, of course, what I would do is report to the authorities, right? That's that's all I can do, really. I wouldn't make a big scene of it. I would just kind of go where I need to go, let somebody know that I have this situation I'm dealing with, and then leave it at that. If it is
All right.
really a serious threat, I imagine most of these people will be far away, though. I don't think they'll be close.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
I think so too. Yeah, I'm sure you're fine. I mean, Sargon of God, for instance, has 800,000 subs
Hmm.
on his channel, and we all know he lives in Swindon,
Hmm.
but nothing happens to him. He
Hmm.
does talk critical of Islam, so I think we might overestimate the danger we can get in. But
Hmm.
if you do get nasty comments or whatever, and you're gonna, you might experience the same, or at least some of that. But I, in general, think it's gonna be received quite positively.
I hope so.
Yeah. The reason I'm very interested in this topic as well is that I think like the group you're going for, like inept men, I think we also as societies in the West we created these groups of men. I think,
Hmm.
and we did that by going too far with feminism and pampering all these guys from
Hmm.
birth, and now they're all of a sudden find themselves not being able to say anything to women. Like
Mhm.
they just either shut up, or they feel that they cannot speak, or they somehow how find themselves not being attracted by women, so women are
Mhm.
not into them.
Yeah.
You you find that a topic that that I'm exaggerating, or do you
I
agree?
don't. I feel like the internet has exacerbated the social ineptitude of people in general. You know what I mean? Like the way people talk to other people on the internet, they would never talk to somebody in real life like that.
No.
And I get joking around and playing around, but there are some really angry individuals on the internet, especially angry men, who will take out their resentment and rejection towards women and their past experiences on like hot girls on the internet who have never talked to them, don't even know who the hell they are, and it's
Yeah,
obviously that's not a way to behave.
but such guys were always there. But do you agree or disagree with me that now in 2018 there are more, because feminism got wild on men, and now they are somehow neutered in that
I
sense?
I do I do actually agree with that to a degree for sure. Not just feminism, but like even the men's rights movement has gotten a little far, right? Like the extreme ends of those two things have created just like a fountain of these people. And also I think the internet has made us more aware of it. I think
Mhm.
it was always around, but I think because now that we see it a lot more, it
Mhm.
does also kind of bring to the forefront how much of a problem it actually is.
Yeah,
Communication is a problem in general, you know what I mean? People have a
yeah,
really hard time being honest and just talking to other people honestly.
yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, internet brought it around. Some of it feminism, also the men's movement. You say. What else contributed to this new world of inept men, or was it the same before?
I don't know, but the thing that I'm noticing a lot about people who, you know who Jordan Peterson is, yeah?
Hmm.
So a lot
Of
of
course.
these young men who look up to Jordan Peterson, I feel like a lot of them came from broken homes and didn't have an adequate family structure at home. And that's why you're seeing a lot of this strange behavior too. Or they had parents that didn't equip them for the way that things kind of work in the world because they themselves weren't equipped. So they just keep passing their problems down, right?
Yeah, if
And
you look at the 12 rules of Jordan Peterson, he wrote a book with 12 rules in it,
mhm,
and some of it is really one on one with that masculine soul kind of got neutered along the way.
mhm,
I think Rule 12 is something like make sure that young kids get to skateboard. That's one of
mhm.
the rule. They're not allowed to play anymore. Well,
Yeah,
I'm not.
helicopter parents, right? Like
Yeah, but I'm
they
not on
have a.
board with Peterson's whole story. Like Devin said, our king and savior, Devin Tracy.
Mhm,
Like he always says with Jordan Peterson, he's the only one making critical videos on Peterson. And,
mhm,
one thing he said about Peterson that really struck me as interesting was that he said that he's one of these scientific guys that always got his way because he has 20-year-olds in front of him who
mhm,
cannot give him enough of a pushback for
mhm.
to disagree with him. And but I think still he's yeah, I still really like Jordan Peterson because he does have great points,
Hmm.
especially
Yeah, I do
masculinity.
agree. But like I feel like he says a lot of shit that kind of negates the good things he says because it's a lot of fundamental issues that he seems to have an issue with that he can't be direct about, like the God question, right? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of a huge one. It's a yes or no. I don't know why you're complaining about being put into a binary because when it comes to the gender issue, you have no problem with that being a binary situation. So what is the deal here with God, right?
Yeah, God does not exist. That's basically the short answer.
Yeah.
But Aimee, and tell me a little bit about you and men, and like because it's relevant. I'm
Of
not.
course.
But tell me a bit about you and men. your history. And
Yeah, no problem.
yeah,
So, I would say the last couple of relationships I had were very bad. I actually dealt with very kind of like manipulative, very emotionally unstable men who, I mean, don't get me wrong, I obviously contributed to the problems too, but near the end, it always seemed like when I was in a mode where I wanted to talk things through, they weren't. They would have an emotional reaction towards me and they would resent me and hate me for things that I didn't even do. There was a lot of jealousy at play in situations that they themselves would be in. So if they were talking to another girl and I reacted, the reaction I got back was huge. But if I was talking to another guy that was just a platonic friend of mine, their reaction was so big and I was not allowed to be like, fuck you, this is retarded. I eventually did because obviously we broke up, right? But just stupid little things like that.
but
Also,
now
just
you're now like you're doing something what I would consider to be bullet pointeritis. That's a weird term, but you're just listing off the things that they they were. But I want specifics. I want to know, for instance, what kind of guy you're looking for. Like if you see one down the street, do you immediately know that you're attracted to that person, or why is that? And for instance, give me specifics of your latest boyfriend, the way he was.
okay. So I think the most important thing that I would want out of a man is definitely the ability to communicate openly and honestly without any kind of judgment to where it's ruining the relationship. You know what I mean? Because I mean, we're all human beings. We all have fucked up shit that we go through. And I have a pretty crazy brain. So a lot of the time, I just need somebody to listen and understand. That's it. Like,
But Amy, you're doing exactly the same thing as before. You're saying, I want someone who's open and honest,
but okay,
open
what specifics are you
communication wise.
looking for?
That's
I
not
want someone who's
specific.
attractive, who's
No, no,
hot.
no, 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 no. Listen, um, what I would want you to say something about is, for instance, a conversation you had with your latest boyfriend, where you thought, "Oh, this is a turn on." And
Oh,
what did he say? What did you say? And what did you think? And for
oh,
instance, it's something about his appearance, specific. Uh, you know, not the open and honesty and humanity, and we're all humans. That's not good enough. Sorry.
a conversation I've had. Let me tell you, I mean, the thing that turns me off the most is it's not going to be very specific, but it's me attempting to have a serious conversation about feelings or something that makes the situation between us awkward that I can't actually have with the person or the boyfriend or the significant other because he is too uncomfortable to have that conversation with me. You
So,
know
so
what I mean?
take me back in the situation you had that with your ex. Take
Okay.
me back to that
So
situation.
the
A concrete example. For instance,
okay.
you were
So
dealing with X, and you wanted to talk about X, and he rejected you because of,
okay.
or
So
what did
here's
he say?
Okay, so
Specifically,
here's what started happening. The last relationship that I was in was a long distance relationship. Okay, he lived three time zones. He lived in a time zone that was 3 hours ahead of me, and we like had to manage our relationship at a distance. And what was happening is sometimes when we would talk on the phone, he would say something or I would say something that sounded a bit rude, and we would just initially get mad at each other about it and not talk about it.
that was also the attraction, right? You like to get mad, I think, or
I
is that
mean, I am a conflict person. I don't shy away from it, but in a situation where it's fucking long distance, I really just need you to chill the fuck out. And we would just aggravate each other. And so we finally got to a point where if he said something that sounded sarcastic or rude or I interpreted it some way that was negative and he didn't mean it and I had that feeling, I would just ask him, "Hey, what did you mean by that? That sounded a little off." And he started getting progressively more frustrated with that because what was happening is he was actually fucking just getting angry and hated the situation of the long distance thing. And he started swearing. and just getting more and more mad at me. And he would explode at me to a point where he would just, one day he yelled at me. We were trying to have this conversation and he was like, "Oh, today is one of those days that I wish I didn't wake up." And I was like, what's that supposed to mean? I just asked you for hanging out today and spending time because you said we're going to spend time on Saturday. It's Saturday. And now you're saying that you want to sleep all day? What does that mean? That implies you don't want to hang out. And he just went, "I don't want to fucking spend any fucking time with you anymore, you fucking bitch," and just hung up the phone on me. And it was just such an immature reaction to like, this is a solution we came up with together to deal with this communication problem we are going to have, because I don't get to see your fucking face when we talk.
Do you need? What do you need? What do you need in such situations?
For him to not freak out like that, maybe?
Yeah. All right.
You know?
But that's not specific enough. What do you need? What do you want him to say? Like, not freaking out is easy, but what do you want him to say?
Okay, so let's say that he did freak out, right? If he had taken a step back instead of yelling at me and saying "fuck you" or whatever, and saying, "Look, I would rather just not hang out today. I'm having a rough day. I don't want to spend time with you." That would have been way fucking better than him yelling and screaming and losing his shit. And I think
Even though the sentence "I don't want to spend time with you" is in it?
Well, I mean, I didn't spend time with him, obviously, right? But like, I think there's something to learning how to manage your anger and your emotions. And that obviously was not present as time continued.
So you're seeking an emotional connection.
Emotional connection and someone who's emotionally stable enough to, I don't care if you flip out, okay? I flip out too, but it's all how you deal with the aftermath that matters. Yeah. He didn't deal with it well. He even after that day, we just stopped talking, or we wouldn't talk for a few days, and it would just go on. And it was like, I felt awkward to message him, and I did message him, and he wouldn't message me.
What is your role in it? Like,
well, my role in it.
Now you gave me an example where he was definitely default to blame.
Mm-hmm.
What is your role in your failed relationships?
I think that, especially not in this particular relationship, but the one before that, I was incredibly sensitive. I had a lot of insecurities, and I had a lot of about like my body, him talking to other girls, all the stupid shit. It wasn't as bad regularly, but when he was talking to someone all the time in like the middle of the night while I was sleeping and stuff, it was getting a little weird, right? So I just needed a little bit of reassurance from him. And he got really fucking mad at me because he didn't want to put up with it. And he was like, "I don't give a fuck about your insecurities. It's your fucking problem." And so that actually helped me. I ended up dealing with my own shit. I got better, and I started to kind of just deal with some facts about life that, you know, I don't like. Specifically, like, I'm not the only person who's going to keep a man's interest all the time, and that's fair. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's anything against me. I think it's just a human nature thing. I also started to read more books about these things and just how the mind works, and, you know, differences between the sexes and things. And it helped give me a greater understanding of this whole relationship game that we play, which is, it's kind of bullshit, really. You know what I mean? Like, people who have successful relationships, they really have to work at those things. It doesn't just come out of thin air. And
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So like, I think I'm at a point now where it's like, I'm ready to accept the tough times and the difficulties and all the challenges that come with not just having a boyfriend, but like creating a union with another human being.
Yeah.
You know, I think.
Do you want kids?
No, I don't.
You don't want kids?
Oh, do I want kids?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
If I'm in a position in life where I can afford to put them through activities and stuff like that, yeah, I would actually love to. I think I'd be a kick-ass mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But is it on my priority list right now? No. Right now, I think I just need to work on getting my shit together a bit because, you know, I've hit 30.
Together? Yeah, you hit 30. Yeah.
Yeah, I hit 30 this year, and currently, I got laid off. Pardon? Yeah, the big 3-0. I'm 3 decades old now. It's interesting. And I keep having all these intrusive thoughts about like you're 30 years old, you haven't really accomplished anything. You kind of need to, because I'm not working right now. I got laid off in November, and since then, I've just kind of been on the employment insurance and taking it slow, being picky about finding a job and not rushing because
Uh-huh.
like I'm also mentally preparing myself for that 9 to 5 soul sucking grind that is just going to like that is not the place for me. You know what I
No,
mean? Like
no. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there getting a
yeah.
job,
Hmm.
keeping it. But yeah, you will find your way. I'm sure of it.
I think so. I mean, at some point I don't really have a choice, do I?
No, no, we
Yeah.
all do not have a choice. So if you look at the future and man in it, like,
Hmm.
um, yeah, what should that person have for you? Like, name me the top three things.
Okay, this is going to be a really weird one for the first thing, but the God question is a big one for me. I don't think I could
God
be with
question.
somebody who is religious.
All right, yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that because in Amsterdam, it's just yeah, God never comes up. Actually,
Yeah, well, in Canada and in the US, I have a thing for American guys too. I don't know where this came from, but
all right,
yeah. So in America and Canada, religion still has quite a stronghold, stranglehold.
yeah,
Um, I think they're calling Canada majority Christian now, but a lot of people here are either Christian, Muslim, and there's a lot of Sikhs here too.
all right.
Yeah, I don't know if I could date somebody who wasn't or be with somebody who wasn't an atheist. Like that's a huge fundamental question, and
All
that
right,
will
that's good. Good. Like I totally agree. First point,
yeah.
agree. A second point.
Um somebody with like very good communication skills.
All right, communication skills. But
Hmm.
you also have two eyes in your face, right?
I have to what?
Two eyes in your face. How does he have to look like?
I would definitely like somebody who's interested in being healthy and who is physically fit.
Physically fit?
I don't need like a fucking bodybuilder or anything, but like I definitely want someone who's not that it's hard. I'm 5 feet tall, so
Five
someone
feet.
who's
All right.
yeah, I'm short. Um, so someone who's taller than me. I like the broad shoulders. I like a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a real man.
Who like runs and like works out and likes his ribs and his beer and his video games and like likes sports and shit and has his own interests and like it would be cool to have a guy who read books too because the one thing that I miss about my ex-boyfriend is I used to read him to sleep like we used to read to
Really
each other.
interesting.
Yeah. Like novels. We would pick a novel and then one night I would read it to him and then the next night he would read it to me. And like
Oh,
we just did this really gay thing. But,
yeah.
I like someone who takes an interest in like what's going on in the world to a certain degree and I'm a big internet person.
What would be your third point?
What would be my what, sorry?
Third point. Third.
So I have atheist, I have what's the second one?
Communication skills.
Communication. And I think the third thing can like physically fit and looks all go under the same.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he needs to have sex appeal too, right? Like
of course.
I'm fiery and I'm a sexual being and I need someone that I can like just be open and crazy and fun with. So
And I'm sure all these three tips, and you gave actually a few more tips. You are not tips; they're actually your preference in men. But those three things you said
mhm.
are also gonna be the things that you're gonna advise your clients in the future on the
Mhm.
hill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna advise go to the gym. You're gonna advise read a book. You're gonna advise communication skills, etc. Right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Or
of course. Um, go to the gym. Yeah, go to the gym. Like going to the gym, I think is really important. I think like there has to be some self-improvement operative
hmm,
continuing. You know what I mean? Like you need to be interested in bettering yourself because if you're not, then the relationship will also get stagnant. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? If you're not interested in not only improving yourself, but you're not going to give a shit about your relationship either, because there's going to be difficult situations and times where we collide, and there's going to be friction because we're two different people trying to approach a problem together, and we're going to see the thing differently, and you have to be able to compromise, and that can be a really tough grind. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard not to get impassioned and upset and all these things, and there have to be a few very like vital understandings in order to continue the relationship and improve it, and not let it stagnate and just fall to the wayside, you know?
All right, interesting. So
Mm-hmm.
that's probably gonna be, yeah, some of your advice that you're gonna give on Amy and Chill. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a real cool channel. When do you think you get it up and running? When you
Well,
get
here's what I'm doing
GoFundMe?
right.
You have
Yeah,
a
I have.
GoFundMe, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So I think the first withdrawal is going to happen on the 1st of June. So what
Hmm.
I'm going to do is there's about 2,500 in there right now. It's at the halfway mark.
Hmm.
I'm probably going to purchase some of the stuff that I need, or some of the stuff that's on the list that I have, you know, the computer, the desk, whatever. And then when I get the rest of the money, I'll be able to buy everything. And then as soon as that starts, I will probably get it up and running. But in the meantime, the idea is to have streams and talk to people. So last week I hosted an open stream.
All
So
right.
I started a stream. I dropped the link in Bearing's Discord, Devin's Discord, you know, all the Discords that I have access to. I just
All
dumped the
right.
link in there and I said,
Wow.
hey, whoever wants to come, you're welcome to join us. And
And
I think it was good. Like, a couple of people started fighting about veganism or debating. You know what I mean?
but yeah, debate me, bro.
Yeah, debate me, bro.
But Amy, I have to go
Okay.
because my family's waking up here.
Okay.
Uh, I really like the chat. I like your idea, and I really wish you well with that.
Thank you.
Uh, and yeah, it's interesting because you're gonna see a lot of men that I would be interested in their stories. You know,
Mhm.
would be interested in how they and what would be really cool if there was like some research out there about
Mhm.
if these things we talked about, like feminism and the way men are treated in
Mhm.
schools and all around our societies, Western societies, if that actually influences a herd of men all of a sudden being in that state where they cannot get a woman.
Mhm.
And also, like on the political spectrum, you know, they let themselves just be overpowered by women
Mhm.
causing, for instance, all these migrant flows. But now I'm really like I'm leading the topic now. But I think we need, you know, manly men in our lives, our daily lives, and our dating
Mhm.
lives to actually stand up to
Do some
things
man
that are, for
shit,
instance,
man.
happen in Sweden. But
Right?
that
Like.
yeah, but then those are all like thoughts of mine, especially combined with the political situation in Sweden, for instance, that
Mhm.
men are just not stepping up to the
Mhm.
plate anymore and taking charge and saying, "Hey, let's fight for our Northern values here." And that's the underlying, um, yeah, ideas I have about masculinity that
Mhm.
you now are experiencing in your dating life, but that's also go through all layers of our societies. But
Mhm.
anyway, I'm regressing. I gotta go.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
Hope you have a good day. And
yeah.
hopefully we'll chat soon, because you have a lot of knowledge that I would like to pick your brain for. So,
Well, thank you. But yeah, not not that impressive. But thank you very much. And
yeah, no problem.
you have a great day.
Yeah,
And
you too.
I'll see you around.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye. See you later.
Bye. Well, shit. That was Brave New World. He is such a cool guy, man. Hi, Ticey. Hi, Synth. Hey, chat. What's up? What did you guys think of that conversation? I totally got interviewed. I was like, oh my God, I got put on the spot about things. I always like that. It's nice to mix it up a little bit. it's interesting when people ask you questions and want to kind of pick at me about my old relationships and stuff. It's been a while, you know what I mean? And I know that generally when we talk about our past relationships, we naturally tend to put ourselves in more of a positive light. But I think he just stoked an idea in my mind. And I think I might need to do some kind of audio recording where I talk about the ways that I fucked up in the relationships, right? The thing that is most prominent to me in my last two failed relationships is the fact that at the end, I was actually really fucking trying hard to patch things up. And I just could not get a response from either of those gentlemen to work with me. I think too much resentment had piled up and it just ended up destroying both relationships. And again, those are the things that I remember the most. I mean, also to make it clear, like those two guys, though I had my emotional instabilities as well, they were like emotionally manipulative people. And it's really hard to be honest with people like that, especially when you're talking about serious shit and you're in the situation, you know, and it's like a year or more than a year has elapsed and you still can't just have a conversation about some basic shit that if we just had a 5-minute conversation about this, fuck, even if it's like an hour, okay? Like if you care about someone, you do that shit. If you don't care about them, you don't do that. And then you got to stop wasting each other's time because you're just sweeping shit under the rug and it's not going to get better for either of you. And you're just going to live in like perpetual misery with this person, you know, like it's never fun when you have a significant other and like the idea of seeing them makes you dread it. You know, you're just dreading seeing them. You're like, oh God, what can I do to keep myself busy so I don't have to spend time with this person because I'm too much of a pussy to actually break up with them. But I kind of don't want to break up with them because that means I'm going to be alone. I'm going to have the whole heartbreak thing to deal with. But I also just don't want to see them because seeing them is like fucking gross right now. And I don't feel comfortable and I just feel like, oh, I don't want to see you. So it's weird. Let's see what's happening here. Hey, it's Volpez. What's up, Volpez? Hey, TJ. Hey, Lit Music. Hi, Cameron. I don't understand being a prick to the person you're in a relationship with. It's shitting on your own doorstep. I do agree. But we tend to take out our frustrations on the people who are closest to us. I don't even know if we necessarily mean to do it. So I do tend to be a little bit more understanding when people act retarded. Because if I act retarded, I also want them to be understanding of the fact that, like, I'm not angry at you. I'm just angry. And I know it's not mature or smart to take it out on you, but sometimes it just happens. And as long as you hold yourself accountable and apologize to them for it and let them know that you don't mean to, and you'll try not to do it next time to the best of your ability, you know, what else can you do? And if it's something that you continue to do and they put up with it, at that point, it's up to them, right? If they want to deal with you or not. If they don't want to handle that part of your personality and that's not something they want, they can end things. I think ending relationships is like so underrated. I think a lot of the times it's the best thing to do. People waste a lot of time. I have done this too. In relationships where it's been like fucking 3 years and it's just the same fucking patterns over and over again. And like, you can't, like, there's only so much resistance you can deal with from the other person before it just gets too exhausting and you don't even care anymore. And I know a lot of people who are in those relationships, you know, they don't want to deal with the conflict, but they also don't want to be alone. So they just get comfortable and they just shut up and they do their thing and like everything just continues as usual. But inside that shit just like effervesces in your subconscious and in your heart. And you're like, dude, this isn't right anymore. Neither of us are happy. I'm just putting up with it because at bottom, I don't want to be alone. And I know it's going to be rough being alone because it is. It's fucking scary. It's scary. I've been alone for like a year now. I'm used to it now. It's like whatever. But I remember it took me so long to break up with not the long distance one, but the relationship I had before that. it took me so long to get out of it, because not only was I in like this vicious cycle, I really was like, okay, like there are some good things about this, and I really don't want to be alone. And, you know, he's here, and why not? Like, why not just keep trying? It can work. It will work. You like delude yourself into thinking that you can change somebody. But unless somebody wants to work with you and change and, you know, make things better, it's not going to get better. So relationships are tough. I feel like the last two I got in, the guys had the mentality that, oh shit, I got the girl. Now that's it. I got her. Why do I need to do anything else? All I need to do is I have this girl, and I'll do whatever I want to do. And when I want to see her, I'll see her. And when I don't, I won't. And like me being me, I'm like, oh, well, whatever. Okay. I'll just kind of like totally change my life to kind of fit in with your plans or whatever. And it doesn't work. There has to be an equal amount of giving. Both people have to be giving. And at the very least, like, you know, yeah, I do agree, Sarah, Jessica Furter. It is definitely common. I haven't only seen this in my relationships, but I've seen it in relationships with friends of mine, you know? It's like that battered wife syndrome shit too. Like, I know so many girls, I've known a lot of girls in my past who, like, they would cheat on their boyfriends and they would just do whatever they wanted, but then they would still go home to him and act like it's all good. And I'm like, how do you do that? Why don't you just fucking leave? Why don't you just leave him? You're not happy. You're going out, you're hanging out with other guys, they're getting you drunk, you're coming home late. And what? So you have a warm body to sleep with at night? It's like such a dishonest way to operate in a relationship. In general, if you're not fucking happy, leave. I feel like, oh, hi, Devin Tracy. I've really missed you the last few days, Devin. I feel like I haven't spoken to you, and my heart hurts. My heart really hurts. Devin and I are in a really, this is our internet relationship. He just leaves me, and then he never comes back. Like, he doesn't come back for like 3 days. And I'm like, Devin, where's Devin? I miss him. And then he just shows up. Yeah, see, even he said it. It's so complicated. I miss you, though. But I see you have a few videos out, and I do need to catch up. So that'll be fun. I always like it when a few of them... Jesus took a 3-day vacation. Missed it by 2 days since the 1-year anniversary of you joining the AIU community. 1 year? You know, the first time I talked to Devin, he will keep saying that I was pretending that I was interested in chess. Like, that was my way of like talking to him. It totally wasn't. I actually did want to try playing it, but like, I beat myself up because I'm just like, dude, when it comes to like strategy games and games, is it I guess you can call it a game, right? Or games where I have to think ahead and be proactive about what the other person is going to do. I just don't have the mental capacity for that. And like, instead of practicing like I should have been, I just get down on myself about it because I'm like, dude, I'm not a genius. I'm like stupid. So me attempting to play chess is going to be an absolute failure, and I probably shouldn't even pursue this at all. I did have a lot of fun learning, but like, I watch him and I'm like, oh my God, what the like, there's like 5 million gears clicking in that man's head, because it's just like, and you can tell, and he plays these 3-minute games and it's so fucking impressive. And I'm just like, I could sit here for like 6 months with the same game and still not understand what the hell is going to happen next. He has like a really amazing ability to see in the future. You know what I mean? Like, life is a chess game to him. It's very cool. Name 2. Oh man, don't do that to me. Peru's in Latin America, right? Name 2 cities. shit, I've done this before. This is so bad. He's just going to fuck me up. It's not fair. I am geographically challenged, okay? And I remember Devin does this to embarrass me. It was like 4 a.m. one morning, and we were all hanging out. It was me, Devin, Chris, and he's like, what did he say? What was the question you asked me? Name 6 cities in South America. And I said, I said Peru. And then he's like, Peru's not a city. And I was like, I don't know anything. There's my couch. This just gives me more room to hula hoop over here. I'm sorry, Devin. I'm so sorry. My couch is making you uncomfortable. Okay. Well, I hope you get to catch the beginning of this conversation, Devin, because I did talk to BraveNewWorld, and he did mention you, and we kind of talked about Aimee and Chill a bit. And the interesting story about how he came to ask about me at all is because he saw that in your video you were wearing, the Rue was wearing the Aimee and Chill shirt, that really cool gray one with the logo right here, you know, the logo right here, and then it says Aimee and Chill over here. No, a man did not move my couch for me. Do you think a man is the head of a woman? I don't even know what you mean by that. Did you just wake up? Can you not roast me right now? Aimee and Will. Yeah, Will doesn't like to do any kind of thing like this. So I'm not sure what to do about that. But I am going to harass... Oh, do you think the man... Oh, did he really ask that? What does it feel like how do you know as a boy what it feel like to be a girl? How do you know what that feel like? Well, that's a weird question. That was amazing. That's amazing. You know what was really cute? So Devin and Jesse Lee had their interview, right? Devin called in to the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and it was such an enjoyable and fun conversation that they had. We fucking loved it. We were all all his friends got together. We were all watching it together. We reacted to it together and recorded it. And every time Jesse Lee Peterson said amazing or that's amazing, Devin just had this little adorable giggle. It was so cute. It was so strange. I really hope he has you on again, because it was really entertaining, and I really enjoyed that conversation. Not that that's surprising, but you know what I mean. Did you watch the Amber Rose interview? No, I didn't watch it. I saw a few clips of it, but in that interview with Devin, he did call it the slut walk. The slut walk. It was so funny how he said it. I like how he talks. He's old school cool, you know what I mean? He's very calm, and there's something about his cadence that's so, it's endearing in a strange way, you know what I mean? That's amazing. Do you think that Black women who have their babies out of wedlock give birth to children who are mentally retarded? You don't think? I think that Black men are sissies, because they grow up and they're raised by their mothers, and they don't have their fathers. I thought it was really funny how he's like, I'm surprised that you are not a Trump guy, because do you have a problem with masculinity? I'm like, what the fuck does Donald Trump have to do with masculinity? He's a fucking over-tanned, bloated cunt. Hello? What was that term he used? Children of the lie. Children of the lie. That's funny. We are calling the liberals the children of the lie. Children of the lie. Aimee's hair is like the mane of a black stallion, only she's an old nag. I am very naggy, but you know what? Just keep in mind, boys, that very beautiful, healthy hair is a sign of fertility. That's right. Dun, 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 dun. He wrote a book that disproved racism. Right. I think it's called The Antidote. It's really cool. He's like laid back on the couch and he's like his legs up and he's like, what? What, motherfucker? I can be black and shit. Look at me, I'm gangster. I got the antidote to this racism problem. Do you think that racism exists? Oh, it's really funny. Not fertility, health, sorry. Sorry, Tice. My apologies. It's a good indicator of health, having healthy hair. That's what I've been told anyway. I am broken. I am broken. I am broken. Okay, anyways, I am just yapping at the camera now, but I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation with Brave New World. Somebody just said I should put this on the Aimee and Chill channel. Maybe I will. I don't know if it'll fit necessarily, but it is cool because he did kind of pick my brain about Aimee and Chill. My Bollywood anklets are away in my room, Devin, but I will record a dance video for you. I think I have a suit laying around somewhere, so I might stick that on. And there's this really good Indian movie called Devdas where they have this song. It's called Dola Re Dola, and I was thinking I would play that, and I would do a little dance, and I would wear my chanjana. That's what they're called. And yeah, figure it out. I have to find a nice place to kind of film it so it doesn't look totally shitty. I have a Hello Kitty onesie, Devin, so careful what you wish for. Boobs! Okay. I'm going to stop this now. Thanks, everybody, for coming. It was really nice hanging out with you. I really appreciate you, chat. Devin Tracy, I love you, even though you don't love me and you never fucking tell me you do, and you tell everybody else but me. But you're still my number one, and you'll always be number one, okay? I'm like, what do you call it? It's not Stockholm Syndrome. It's, what is that? That's just unhealthy. That's what that is! All right, everybody in chat, have a great night. Have a great day, if that's where you are. Love you lots. Not all. Big kiss. And bye.